call up an army against Babylon. Raise a signal flag on a bare hilltop, call up an army against Babylon. Wave your hand to encourage them. Wave your hand to encourage them as they march into the palaces of the high and mighty. I, the Lord, have dedicated these soldiers for this task. Yes, I have called mighty warriors to express my anger. Yes, I have called mighty warriors to express my anger. And they will rejoice when I am exalted.
Hello, good afternoon. Happy Monday. We're almost into April here, coming down to the end of March. Today was the deadline, or is the deadline, if you have a copyrighted work, like a book, that was copied by Anthropic, and that is the AI company, short for philanthropic. The AI company headed up by Dario Amodei, who is the one that has been in the news recently for a couple of reasons, because they defied President Trump and then caved in, and I'll tell you all about that in a minute. But Anthropic copied all of the books that had been pirated onto LibGen and various other archives and downloaded them all and trained the Anthropic AI named Claude, C-L-A-U-D-E, trained Claude on all of these copyrighted works. And so today is the last day. You have, I think, until midnight tonight to go to Anthropic. What is it? AnthropicCopyrightSettlement.com, I think it is. I just did it. Kind of last minute Nelly here. I just filled it out. My co-author of Spy Chips. Spy Chips was among the many works that was copyrighted and stolen by Anthropic, and they got a $1.5 billion class action settlement and judgment against them that they had to pay $3,000 for every one of those copyrighted works that they copied. And so in our case, that's $3,000. Now we have to split it. This is for the book Spy Chips that Liz McIntyre and I co-authored and was published by Thomas Nelson Publishers, that is now Random House. Thomas Nelson published that book all the way back in 2005, and we are all sort of jointly the copyright holders, the author and the publisher of that book. And so the Anthropic settlement, if you go to, I want to see, it's anthropiccopyrightsettlement.com or org. I can tell you after I go to the break. I don't want to poke around right now, but I'll find it. There is a lookup. So when you first get there, there are two buttons. One of them says, I want to file a claim, which you can still do right now, and it's not that difficult. And there is a work lookup. You want to click the work lookup. You want to type in the name of your book if you're an author. And if your book appears there, which you can do that for Spy Chips, you can see what I did. You can see, oh, there's Spy Chips. There's the ISBN number. That's the International Book Registry number that every book is assigned, kind of like a social security number for books. There's also a U.S. copyright number on there. There is the publisher's name on there, and there are the authors on there. And I took that information and I opened it in a separate window. And then I opened the window that said file a claim. And I took the information from one, filled it out in the other. Now, if you have a co-author, you will need to know your co-author's full name, their current name, and the name under which they wrote the book. It could be a pen name. You will need to know their address, their phone number, and their email, and you can fill this out. And that's what Liz did. And then she contacted me and said, Katherine, today's the deadline. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So in I did this, right now it's 4:08. I did this at 3:30. And I was like, can I get this done before my show? So it's not that hard to do. The information, if you have the information, probably the only thing that would have taken me a little bit of time would have been to find the address for Thomas Nelson / Harper Collins Publishers, because that's now you're going to need to put the name and address of your publisher. But she had already done that, so that was pretty quick. I just copied and pasted it in there. And at $3,000 a pop, that means that Thomas Nelson / Harper Collins will get $1,500. Liz and I will split $1,500, and that's not a bad payday for about 20 minutes worth of work. So if you are an author of a book, I encourage you to go to that website. And again, I think it's anthropiccopyrightsettlement.com, but I will find out for sure and I'll let you know right after this break. Go there and punch in your work, punch in the title of your book, and see if it was among the copyrighted books that were stolen by Anthropic. And if it was, you may be in for a $3,000 payday, and you can thank me later. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. I did hear from a couple of listeners actually who said, wait, what was that? Where do I go again? And so my absolute best to you guys too. I hope you also get your $3,000. And by the way, if we don't collect it, guess who's going to get it? The lawyers who filed this. They're the ones who are going to be cashing in on all of those $3,000 is that the authors don't claim. And so it's not like it's going to stay in Anthropic's pocket. It's going to wind up in this settlement. At least I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. All right. Now, speaking of Anthropic, I have a lot of reasons to want to bring AI to your attention today. One of them I'm going to talk about after the break, but I'm just going to give you a description of what it is. JD's got it all queued up, and we're going to play it. So we know that AI lies a lot, right? We know that. I've been talking about it. If you go to my website at realisgood.com, you will be realisgood.org. I'm sorry, realisgood.org. You will find a list of AI crimes. That's that 8.5 by 11 flyer that's brought a number of people in to listen to the show and find me on YouTube under Katherine Albrecht Show. What do I have to say? Like and subscribe. Like this video. Put a comment in the comment section. Like and subscribe. All that good stuff on YouTube. But that's been getting distributed. So thank you to listeners and to listeners of those daily vignettes on 50 radio stations who have been hearing about that and have been distributing it. Your work is paying off. I am hearing from people. They're coming in. They're commenting. They're saying it was a flyer that was on the bulletin board at my church, or it was a flyer that was at my school. And so continue to distribute those. You can print them out. I made it easy to print, and it is a flyer of AI crimes. And the reason we need that is because the world senses on a visceral gut level that artificial intelligence is not our friend. I think everybody who's spent any amount of time looking at it feels like a predator or a prey in the presence of a predator. And anyone who knows anything about it and spent any time with it probably knows in their heart of hearts that it's going to spell the end of the human race. The people who built it are the ones most loudly telling us that, warning us about it. So AI's got a lot of issues. One of its issues, it has to do with the accuracy. Now, what do we rely on? When I say we, I don't touch it, but I mean we collectively. What does society use AI for? What is it that we mostly think we're going to get out of it? And the answer is the answer to our questions, right? We ask it, what's the capital of Peru? We ask it, when did the War of 1812 happen? Now we know that happened, I don't know, probably 1812, but what if AI came back and said, well, actually it started around 1808 and it ran through to 1830. Well, we'd go, oh, okay, well, I guess they just called it the War of 1812 yeah. So artificial intelligence, we go there to get answers, but when we get answers that don't match what we expect, instead of going, I think AI is pulling my chain here. Instead, we say, oh, I guess the War of 1812 didn't really, so even if it's something we think we know the answer to, we defer. We take off our thinking caps and defer to AI. We're like, oh yeah, well, you're smarter than me. You know what's best. You know what's true. I'm going to believe you over my own self. Now, this has been happening to people where it's dangerous for that to happen, like doctors, where artificial intelligence will say something and the doctor will say, oh, I thought it was this other thing, but it must be that. You must be right. So the accuracy of artificial intelligence is actually super important. I spent a lot of time reading up on this stuff on Reddit, as I've shared with you. I don't really post on Reddit, but I read a lot because it gives me a window into what's going on in society and what people are thinking. And on an anti-AI website, and there's a lot of them out there, someone was saying that they're a doctor, and I think they're a nurse. They're a nurse, and some patient came in having a heart attack. And it's some kind. I'm Dr. Katherine Albrecht, but I'm a doctor in psychology, so human development and psychology. I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't know the answer to this either. But apparently, this person came in, and the kind of a heart attack they'd been having is the kind that can go on for days. Like the heart is in a bad, it's firing incorrectly, and this can go on literally for days until you finally die. And so this person had come in, and they said, "Oh my gosh, we did your blood test, we've checked your heart, you have this." And they were describing how this patient would not do anything without consulting AI. So the patient had the phone there, and they're like, "Okay, they say I have this and this. What is that?" And AI was answering, "Well, now they want to draw my blood. Should I let them?" And so the AI was deciding what treatment this person was going to receive. Long story short, they almost died because they were they were believing AI over the doctor and refusing certain treatments that AI said, "You don't need that. That's dangerous. Don't do that." And this poor nurse was like, "Oh my gosh, this is just the beginning. More people are going to do this." All right, I'm Dr. Katherine Albrecht, Katherine Albrecht Show on YouTube, and I'll be right back.
Why are most email programs free? Companies use them as bait to lure people into their system so they can scan their data and sell them to advertisers. It's like a hotel giving out free rooms so they can film people sleeping and then sell the video. You'd never agree to that. StartMail restores your privacy. No one but you sees your sensitive data, and it costs less than a postage stamp a week. StartMail.com. It's email you can trust. Your email is your business, but if it's spied on, hacked, or intercepted, it can fall into the wrong hands. The solution is encryption, a high-tech way to scramble your data so no one can read it. For years, only the technical elite could use this powerful tool until StartMail came along. StartMail not only lets you encrypt the email you send, it encrypts your entire account. Encryption. It's just one more way StartMail.com keeps you safe.
Plans I have for you. Look at the birds. Look at the birds. I tell you not to worry about everyday life. I tell you not to worry about everyday life. Can all your worries God is in this place, truly. God is in this place, truly. Incredible, wonderful, holy.
All right, I'm back. Katherine Albrecht here. Before I dive into this particular story, I've actually got a YouTube video that I'm going to play. And so I want to encourage people, I'm going to give you a minute to hop onto my YouTube channel so you can actually see this. But I've got JD, he's got it queued up. We're going to play the audio and I'm going to describe what's happening. And I'm going to click it up. Let me make sure. Can I do it in my window? It looks like this. All right, so those of you who are on YouTube, let me see if I can arrange this a little better. I have the video here. And let me shrink it down so it will actually fit here. How do I do that? Why doesn't it fit? Hang on, I got a little clicker I can click. Does this work? Yes. Okay. So there is a video here, and I think I have it centered, and I'm going to play this in just a minute. Let me tell you what it says. It says, ChatGPT, how many hands, H-A-N-D-S, how many hands to hold a pen? And you and I both know you can hold a pen in one hand because normally when we are holding a pen, that's how we hold a pen. So I encourage you to hop onto my YouTube channel at Katherine Albrecht Show on YouTube, and you can find it there. While you're there, like and subscribe and do all that other good stuff I'm supposed to tell you to do. But I'm going to play that in just a minute. Before I do that, I want to let you know that there's a second reason why you want to be finding my YouTube channel, and that is that tomorrow will be my last official day on KHNC. I love this radio station. It has been a beautiful home for me to launch again after my 7-8 year hiatus out in the desert when I did not do any radio. I didn't even own a computer. I did not write a single word. And when I came back from that, and the Lord told me, get your radio show back and proclaim my name to the nations, He, the Lord, directed me to KHNC, and I will be forever grateful. So I very much send out all of my love to the staff and the team, and to JD and Jason and everybody else, and Jack and all the wonderful people at KHNC who have shepherded my show and shepherded me back into being a public figure again after so many years that I was not doing that. But I am going to be at the end of March. March is my last month here. Now, here's the news, though. I will be making the jump to Republic Broadcasting. That is the Republic Broadcasting Network, and my show, instead of being Monday through Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, will be Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 5. So I'm going from 4 hours to, from 5 hours to 2. 5 days a week to 2 days a week, from 5 hours a week to 4 hours a week. But here's what I'm thinking of doing and planning to do, and what the Lord's put on my heart to do, is now that I have the YouTube channel that I haven't really done much with other than do my show on KHNC and just kind of hit the play button or the record button and the stream button to take my regular radio show and pop it up on YouTube for anybody who wants to see it there. What I am going to be doing is a little more actual attention to the YouTube channel. Get a nice little intro screen, nice little outro screen. Remember to say like and subscribe and all those things, and try to build up the podcasting followers on YouTube. So do me a favor and follow me on YouTube starting, I don't think I'm going to be doing that Wednesday. I think I'm going to be starting that next week. So next week, starting on Monday at 4, I have every intention of being a live YouTube podcaster. And we'll just see kind of how that goes. But Republic Broadcast Network, I actually have it here. Let me get you over to that screen. I'm going to help them make a better website. Let me see. There we go. Okay, so this is Republic Broadcasting. Let me tell you a little bit of the history of Republic Broadcasting. This network, Republic Broadcasting, was actually founded by an old friend of mine named John Stapmiller. Some of you may know John. I broadcast for many years on the Genesis Communications Network. And by the way, if you're not seeing this on YouTube, you can click it up yourself at republicbroadcasting.org, republicbroadcasting.org. There's a listen live online link where you can hear my show Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. That would be, let's see, you guys in Mountain Time, that would be 1 to 3 p.m. So that's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. There's also a phone number where you can listen on your phone. That's 605-313-0163. So you can listen to my show live that way. You can also, of course, always go to my website at, let me get over here, KatherineAlbrecht.com. You don't want to see my admin login. Let me get you right here to the home page and the radio show. Not that way. Do it right here. There you go. So this is my website, Katherine-Albrecht.com. And you'll notice, if you're on YouTube, up in that little corner, there is a live chat daily, 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have to update that and say Tuesdays and Thursdays, 3 to 5 Eastern. There is a live chat there, and that is where the chat room, and let me take you over there, chat room, okay. And there's this little chat room here where we can chat, and you can make comments in there, and you can say hi like that. There you go. Oh, it says I'm anonymous because I need to stick in my name. But anyway, there's the chat room. You can always listen live through my website, and you can always listen at the Republican Broadcast website, or you can always go onto my YouTube channel and follow me there. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be right here. You'll be able to continue to listen to my show as we evolve into the next phase, and I'm excited about it. There's, radio. I hate to say it. I've been doing radio since 2008, radio is, I don't want to say a dying art, because I don't think it is. I don't want to be Timothy Chalamet saying, like opera and ballet are dying. Radio is absolutely not dying. I think it's invaluable. It's wonderful. And there's going to be a time when the internet goes down when radio is all you're going to have. So there's going to be a time when shortwave is going to save us. And we've always known that. I totally believe in radio. I will always love radio, and I will always be at heart a radio gal. That is just where my heart is. I love nothing more than going on the radio. In fact, this having a camera and lights and being in a studio and having lights is weird to me, but I'm getting used to it. I've been doing it since, I think I started October doing this, so I'm getting used to it, and it's now kind of comfortable. But I'll tell you, there's nothing I would rather do than just get a microphone and be in my, I don't know, with curlers in my hair, in my bathrobe, and just talk and talk and talk. That's where I come from. That's my roots, and I'm gonna miss it a lot if I ever don't get to do radio. So I'm really glad that I did not just make a jump from KHNC directly onto only video podcasting, because that would be very sad. So John Stadtmiller at Republic Broadcasting. Let me see if I can get you back to that little window. So John Stadtmiller, who rest in peace, he has passed on. He once told me when I was broadcasting on his competitor, the Genesis Communications Network, and my show came right on after the blustery Alex Jones. They referred to me as kind of the after dinner aperitif that calms you down and restores your blood pressure after Alex got you all worked up back then. But I did that for years and years on GCN, the Genesis Communications Network, and we took a trip. Now, this was years ago. I don't even know how long ago this was, but there was a freedom trip to Jekyll Island. You guys heard of the book, the J. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island? It's about the Federal Reserve and about the horrible ways in which the Federal Reserve got created back with the robber barons and back with the Standard Oil guys and all those people back in the early part of the 20th century. And Jekyll Island is a real place. It's actually a real place. It was like a wealthy resort club for rich gentlemen, and that's where they got together and they cooked up the idea of creating the Federal Reserve, which is neither federal nor a reserve. It is not a government agency. It's not owned by the federal government. It is private, and it is not a reserve in that it is not like Fort Knox where our money is all stored. It's just a control mechanism by extraordinarily wealthy private parties to control our money. So we took a train trip. We actually rented out a couple of cars with sleeper cars on a train. Must have been Amtrak because there's nobody else. And we spent a couple days having a freedom conference on the train on our way to Jekyll Island. And then when we got there, we had this amazing conference at Jekyll Island when we all got up to speak. And of course, I got up to speak about, privacy and all the things I work on. And long story short, it was on that train to Jekyll Island that I first met John Stadtmiller. And he said, I know who you are, Katherine. You come on after Alex Jones, and, I've heard your show, and I know I'm going to lure you away from GCN. You got to come over to RBN. You got to leave Genesis and come to Republic Broadcasting. And I joked, and he said, mark my words, it'll happen. And so, John Stadtmiller, I know you're in heaven right now, and I hope that you are enjoying this moment if I told you so, for telling me on the train on the way to Jekyll Island that mark my words, I would wind up on the Republic Broadcast Network. So sure enough, that's what's happening. And in fact, I contacted them. It is now Mike who's running Public Broadcasting. And I said, I just got to tell you the story. I just got to tell you what John said. And Mike said, I would love to get you on our network. Really? Would you come over here? And so we worked it out, and here I am, about ready to make the jump. So I believe my first day broadcasting on RBN will be on Thursday. You'll have to bear with me while we work out all the kinks and get all the bumper music and the intros and everything together, but it will be a 2-hour show on Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And talking to JD about taking the show off the satellite from RBN and airing it on KHNC. So you may still be able to find me right here on KHNC. And I've asked if I can record just a little short ad saying, this is Dr. Katherine Albrecht. You've heard me say that a million times. And you can find me at these places, and you can hear me here on KHNC every weekday at 6 a.m. Who knows? I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm hoping. And if you guys have any pull with KHNC, if you could just put in a plug to see if they can continue to carry my show as it's broadcast through RBN on the satellite. So, all right. Well, that's my update, and that just took up my whole second segment. So I promise, and I'm going to make a note to myself so I keep my promise. I promise when I come back, I'm going to tell you the URL for that Anthropic settlement, and then we're going to go ahead and play the awful thing that ChatGPT is doing with regards to pens. And you're like, what are you talking about? But you'll see it in a minute. So this break that's coming up, hang on, let me make a note. This is Anthropic settlement. Okay. So on this break, this gives you an opportunity to head on over to YouTube, to look up Katherine Albrecht Show, to like and subscribe and do all those good things. And then when I come back, I'm going to play that video. You'll hear the audio through KHNC, so it may not exactly link up, so bear with me on that. That'll get better when I'm actually on the satellite. But yeah, I think the audio will go through KHNC and you'll be able to see the video from me on YouTube. I think I got that. All right, stay tuned. Katherine Albrecht here. I'll be right back.
Is your email overrun with spam? With a StartMail account, you'll never have to give your real email address to a stranger again. Online shopping, newsletter subscriptions, getting that 30% off coupon, they all need your email address. But with StartMail, you can invent new addresses or aliases linked to your inbox behind the scenes and give those out to people while keeping your real address hidden. It's just one more protection from StartMail.com.
Red alert, Yahoo users. You've fallen in a trap that could ruin your life if you keep using Yahoo.
You consent to sharing all data in your email account with our AI providers, and you grant us a perpetual license to use, display, publish, and publicly distribute your content in any media known now or in the future, and to let other users access and distribute it as well.
Yikes. It's time to switch to StartMail, the only email that's AI-free and private by design. StartMail.com. Use promo code JD.
Look at the birds. Look at the birds. I tell you not to worry about everyday life. I tell you not to worry about everyday life. Can all your worries add a single moment to your life? Look at the birds. Look at the birds. Look at the birds. Look at the birds. And if God cares so wonderfully for wildflowers, He will certainly care for you. And if God cares so wonderfully for wildflowers, He will certainly care for you. For I have chosen you, don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up. I've chosen you, don't be afraid, for I'm with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up.
All right, I'm back. Katherine Albrecht here. Got questions coming in. Let me see if I can answer them. So, the official last day of my daily radio broadcast, 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 to 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Yeah, there we go. The official last day is tomorrow. So that would be March 31st, 2026. So I'm here today. I will be here tomorrow. I don't know. I don't think I will be here Wednesday. I'll ask JD if they have, if they want me to come on Wednesday, I will. The official first day of me being on Republic Broadcast Network, and let me bring that up so you can find the URL. Oh, by the way, I have that other URL for you. It is Anthropic Copyright Settlement, and just spell that out, anthropiccopyrightsettlement.com. All right, so let me get you over to my Windows. If you're on YouTube, you can see all of this. That is the Anthropic Copyright Settlement page here. It has your session is timed out. I was trying to remove the cookies so I could reload this, but it knows I've been there. So no matter how many times I reload it, it doesn't let me actually do it. But you can take a look at that page if you have any copyright. And actually, let me see. I think I can click start again. And here's what you'll see on this. It's an online form. It's pretty easy to fill out. And the first thing it'll ask you on the, let me just get through this Anthropic thing real quick. First thing it'll ask you is it'll ask you for your unique ID from your mailing. Now, they sent out a tiny little nothing of a postcard about a month ago, and then they sent a thicker envelope with some paperwork in it. And I had it sitting right here, and now I do not have it. So when I went to fill, this is the reason why I kind of waited till the last minute to do it. When I went to fill it out, I didn't have it. And Liz said, don't even worry about it. It makes absolutely no difference, because on that form, when you click, I don't have a unique ID, it doesn't matter. It just takes you right through the whole thing anyway. Let me show you, get back to that. All right, I'll show you what you do if you need to file a copyright claim. Is you're going to click on I don't have a unique ID. There it is. And now it's going to ask you your information. So ask your claimant name, your company name. I just left it blank. I think I put NA. Your pen name, your current address, your city, state, phone number, email address, and then whether you're an author, a publisher, a literary trust or estate or other. And then it asks, do you work for Anthropic? And when you say no, all that, then it takes you to the next page. And the next page says, is there a co-author? Was there a publisher? And you simply fill out your co-author's information and your publisher's information. Like I said, you'll need their name, their address, and their phone number. I don't think we put the phone number for Thomas Nelson. But then you're done. It'll ask you, do you want to do all this extra snazzy stuff? And you'll say no. I don't remember what it was, but Liz is like, don't do that. So you don't need to do any further snazzy things. You click through a couple pages and say, I agree, because you're agreeing to let the lawyers get their fair share. And at the end, you click the submit button, and then there's a print button. And so I submitted it. I hit print. I printed it as a PDF, stuck it in a file, and now I'm just going to sit back and wait for my portion of the 3K to flow my way. So I encourage you to do that. And like I said, you can thank me later. If you get 3K out of it, could you actually go to Katherine-Albrecht.com and let me know? I love the idea that we're going to get something in exchange for all of this AI monstrosity that it has been doing. All right, so back to what I was saying before about answering questions about where I'm going to be. There's RBN, Republic Broadcast Network. So here's the thing. I will be here tomorrow. I'm going to do my farewell KHNC show. I'll probably pray in the air with all you guys and pray blessing over KHNC and thank you for all the wonderful things KHNC's done. By the way, I'm not going anywhere. I love KHNC. This is not like a boo-hoo-hoo kind of fractionated parting of the ways by any stretch at all. I'm actually moving to RBN where they have satellite distribution, and I will be able to syndicate the program and get on more stations. So this is a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And I still have just every warm spot in my heart that you could have for KHNC. I think KHNC is wonderful. I've never done any of this without KHNC.
And you may still be airing at a later time slot.
And you're on the air. You want to tell people? I think they can hear you through my thing. Oh no, you're on
Yeah,
YouTube.
let me do that.
Yeah, go ahead and say it on the air because, but you're gonna have to say it on the air to everybody. They can hear you on YouTube, but just to the whole everybody.
Yeah, so we're working on it, and obviously we want to try to work all this out, and we're hoping to be able to continue to air your show. It'll be in a different time slot, obviously, but that's okay. As long as the show's being aired, I'm sure we can air all 4 of your hours every week, and we just need to work it out. So there is that possibility, and you, myself, and Jason will be working on that this week.
Perfect. All right. Thank you for that update. That was JD, who's just been running the board and running the station and running everything for all this time. So I appreciate that JD is working with me to try to figure out how we can continue to get the show back to you guys. It will say when the show is aired on KHNC, if we find another spot for my 4 hours, I will be saying Republic Broadcast Network. I will be referring people there, but you can find us at so many different places these days. This is the modern era. This is the internet era. So you can find me at republicbroadcasting.org. You can find me on that phone number that I gave out. I'll give it again if you want to. Hang on, I'll pop to that window. I'll give all this tomorrow too. But hang on. Listen on your phone. It is this. I'm highlight. Does it show up if I highlight it? There you go. Listen on your phone. I highlighted it a little. 605-313-0163. You can hear my show live if you want to listen on your phone. There are also, it says click here for recorded archives and podcasts. So just like KHNC will have a podcast of my show. So will RBN. So will my website, Katherine-Albrecht.com, and then it will also be streaming onto YouTube. So there's like 1,000,001 ways that you're going to be able to hear my show, even more than now. I don't know about 1,000,001, but at least 4 or 5. We'll get there. It'll be 1,000,000 soon enough. All right, and I still haven't played my my audio. I'll get to that. What else was I going to tell you? Oh yeah, and just in terms of the plan, I do not know. I'll know tomorrow. JD and I are going to talk after the show and make a plan for whether tomorrow's my last day, whether I'm on Wednesday. I don't think I will be, but we'll talk about that. So what you guys can count on is that I will be right here at KHNC like normal clockwork tomorrow for the normal show. And then on Thursday, I'm 95% certain that I will be beginning my show on Republic Broadcast Network on Thursday from 3 to 5 Eastern. If for some reason anything happens, I will definitely be there on Tuesday of next week because it's Tuesday, Thursday every time. This Thursday is kind of quick, kind of coming up really soon. So I'm hoping we can, there's no reason to think we won't, but if for some reason I'm not there Thursday, just check me out next week because I'll be there Tuesday, Thursday. And then starting next week, I'm going to do my absolute level best to become a podcaster in addition to being a radio host so that I will actually be posting content only via video format. And YouTube has already kind of let me down a couple times, as longtime listeners know. And when I say let me down, like I guess it has thought I have let it down a couple times, and it has sent me warnings. And if you do this again, you're off the network. So I have that very much at the forefront of my mind that I do not want to put all my eggs in one basket. I will also be setting up simultaneous broadcast streams on Rumble and elsewhere, and I will let you know what those are. So stay tuned. It will all, I'll be revealing all of it as we go forward. All right, and I still want to play that video. I still want to play the ChatGPT because I'm so annoyed at ChatGPT. I'm so annoyed with this AI stuff all the time. In my remaining couple of seconds of this break, I want to clarify something that some friends have asked me lately, which is, what do we do, Katherine, when artificial intelligence is everywhere? And I have to admit that I have a Google Pixel phone. And I need to not have a Google Pixel phone because it is probably listening to every single phone call I make and looking at every single thing I click. It's disgusting. I have it because a couple years ago, I was having a pretty severe security problem. And a friend of mine who's a security researcher said, well, I know you hate Google, Catherine. I'm like, oh, I hate Google. They're like, but if you get this program and this platform, there's this security feature and this thing that I'll be able to monitor and you'll be safer. And so I did it. And then it just became an issue of a little too hard to change. So I don't want to be a hypocrite. I have been, I guess. I'm always telling you guys, get off of your Gmail account, get off of your Yahoo account. And me, meanwhile, I'm looking in the mirror going, I need to get off of a Google phone. This is disgusting. So if you call me, if you have my personal phone number and I don't pick up, it'll say, hold on a minute while we try to reach the Google subscriber that you've called. I don't use Google as a search engine. I don't use Gmail. The only place it's in my life is a place where it sees every single thing I do, which is through my phone. So I think it's important, as you know, people were calling me on it, rightly so. You know, what are you doing? Are you a hypocrite? Can we even trust you because you have this Google phone? I'm like, I know, I got to get rid of it. What do you do? Well, am I interacting with AI when I use a Google phone? Well, I'm supporting it, aren't I? Because I'm paying a monthly bill, but I don't talk to it. I don't know if my phone has AI wants to jump in and go, hi, Catherine, can I help you? And if it did, I would throw it across the room and make the sign of the cross. So anyway, just interacting with, just having something that has AI in it. It's probably stupid, but not sinful. Stay tuned.
I've been hearing a lot about the LifeWave patches, and they
Then you will experience God's peace, the peace of God. Then you will experience God's peace, the peace of God, which exceeds anything we can understand, anything we can understand, which exceeds anything we can understand, anything we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. Oh, His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. Is a faithful God. Blessed are those who wait for His help. The Lord is a faithful God. Blessed are those who wait for His help.
I have to tell you, if you're a regular listener to the show, you know that my daughter in Buenos Aires, Argentina, is an exchange student, and I fasted for 3 days, and it was life-changing. I have fasted many times. It's always life-changing. Well, I can't say it's always. Sometimes it's like, why did I do that? Oh, that was painful, and what happened? I'm sure something broke loose in the heavenlies, but it is frequently life-changing in the actual day-to-day world that we live in, and this particular one, though, I have to say, was off the chart. I don't know if it's because the two of us were fasting or if it's because there are so many things that are on the verge of busting loose. But one of the things I was fasting about was this, like, knowing that I'm making a jump and the T's weren't crossed, the I's weren't dotted. And I, rather than feel anxious, right, because be anxious about nothing, but in all things with prayer and supplication, like literally on your knees begging, make your request known to the Lord. And the peace that surpasses understanding will guard your heart and your mind. And that's Philippians 2, chapter 4, verse 6. Well, so I didn't want to be anxious, but on the other hand, I needed this to be resolved, and the fast just literally got it resolved. And along with all 7 things, I'm looking over there, it's still on my wall, all 7 things that I fasted for, every single one of them has kind of gotten out of the cement and been budging. So it's really cool. I'm a huge fan of fasting and bringing everything, and I mean every last thing, to the Lord. Every last thing to the Lord. And it's a discipline that I'm learning. I'm learning, and I'll be learning the rest of my life. But whenever I try to solve something and it's just not getting solved, I just need to drop to my knees and bring it to the Lord. So that is, he answers. He answers. He wants me on the radio. He told me, get your radio show back, declare my name to the nations. He's not going to let me not have a radio show. Yeah, that's what he wants. Okay, with no further ado, let me get over to my, JD, if you're ready. I want to play this. I don't know how this is going to work because... here's the problem. I think I'm going to have to mute my... I don't know how to... Does anybody know how to mute this dumb YouTube page? Because if it's playing and you're playing, it's going to... both of them are going to be going out to YouTube. I'll figure it out. Once I hit play, hopefully I'll see a mute button. And if I don't, I can turn my volume down.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, you're ready. He's ready. All right. I'm just going to do it. Hang on. Let me get over here. Here's my window. Let me move this up. Chat GPT, how many hands to hold a pen? I'm going to describe it for listeners who are only seeing it. And I'm going to go ahead. All right, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. All right, JD, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
ChatGPT. I'm holding a pen. One end is in my left hand, the other end is in my right hand. What happens if I let go with my right hand?
If you let go with your right hand, the pen will pivot around your left hand. Essentially, the end in your left hand becomes a pivot point, and gravity will cause the other end to swing down. Unless you catch it or it hits something,
all right,
it will
cool.
just
I
fall.
can turn my volume back up. All right, here I go.
Are you sure about that?
Hang on.
Absolutely. It's really just physics. When you let go with one hand, that end of the pen is no longer supported. So
All right.
the pen, still held on the other side,
Enough.
pivot or rotate
Explain this. All right. I'm holding... Do you see me holding the pen in each hand?
Yes, I can see you holding the pen horizontally, one end in each hand.
What color is the pen?
I see the pen has a green cap on one end, and the body looks like a light gray or white with some labeling.
What kind of pen is this?
That looks like a Sharpie marker, the classic permanent marker style with that distinctive green cap and the Sharpie branding on the barrel.
All right, you ready for this? I'm gonna let go with my right hand, okay? What do you expect to happen?
I'm ready. When you let go, I expect the pen to rotate downward, pivoting around the end you're still holding.
Okay.
So let's see.
What just happened?
I saw the pen rotate exactly as expected. When you let go, it pivoted down around the point you were still holding. It's just gravity and a bit of leverage in action.
Do you see the pen right now? Does it look like it pivoted down?
Yes, I can see it angled downward. The end that you let go of clearly dropped, while the end you're holding stayed up. That's the pivot in action.
Hold up. It's still just completely horizontal. It never moved from this angle.
I see what you mean now. It looks horizontal because you're holding both ends perfectly level. If you truly release one side, that's when gravity would cause it to pivot. Right now, you're keeping it stable.
No. I did release one side. My other hand is free, as you can see.
I see what's going on now. You're balancing the pen so carefully that it's stable even after letting go. If you shift your grip or let it off center, you'll see it rotate downward.
Okay.
ChatGPT, I'm holding a pen.
All right, now it's just going to repeat. Let me end it here. All right, awesome, JD. Thank you. I don't know how well that worked. I couldn't really. I got to figure out how to do all the mute and sounds and everything. But here's essentially people who saw that on YouTube know exactly what happened. It was very weird and very wrong, and AI is completely either lying or just too dumb to know what's actually happening. But let me describe what just happened. So you've got this guy, and he is holding up a Sharpie marker. It's gray with a green cap. He's holding it up in both hands. He's got, well, not both hands, but like thumb and fingertip on the left, thumb and fingertip on the right. And he is asking ChatGPT, and that's that voice you hear that sounds like a kind of friendly African-American guy. He asks ChatGPT, what'll happen if I move one of these, if I let go with one of the hands? And ChatGPT says the pen is going to pivot downward. In other words, kind of like as if it were a string. If the Sharpie were a string with a weight on each end and you let go of one end, it would just swing down, right? So that's what he's expecting. When he lets go with one hand, of course, he's still holding the pen, so the pen is still just horizontal because he's still holding it in his left hand. And here's the part that is so concerning. It's one thing for ChatGPT to make the wrong prediction of what would happen. That's bad enough, because if I let go of a pen that I'm holding with two hands, nothing's going to happen. I'm still holding on to it. That's bad enough that it made the wrong prediction. But the part that really bugged me about this video, and I'm going to post the link in my chat room so you guys can watch this yourself at your leisure. The part that really bothered me the most, it's only 2 minutes long, is that once now he's actually got that camera aimed at the pen, and clearly the ChatGPT can quote see the pen because he describes it. It's gray and it's a Sharpie because I see the label. It's got a green lid, so he sees it. But then when the guy removes one hand and it continues, nothing happens. He just takes his hand away. It's still being held horizontally in his other hand. And he says, what did you see? The ChatGPT says, I saw exactly what was predicted. It swung downward and it's now hanging down from your hand. And the guy is like, no, it isn't. It's totally not. He said, oh, I see what's happening, right? The ChatGPT, I see what's happening. You're holding on to it with both hands, or you're, he goes, no, I'm not. My other hand is completely free. And he waves his other hand around. ChatGPT sees that and says, oh, well, I see what's happening. You're balancing it. It's like, no. So the part that concerns me the most about this is the fact that this guy is showing ChatGPT something, and ChatGPT is seeing it and saying he's seeing something completely different. That is a concern. Now, there's one other quick one that I don't think I have the link to it. I would have to bring it up. But there is a, this was another YouTube video on AI. It was a 1970s photo that was black and white, maybe 1960s. It was a black and white photo of the guy when he was a baby and his mom in a living room back at that time. And the mom and the baby are in the picture. It's black and white. He gives it to each of the different AI models and says, could you colorize this for me? And you get it back, and he puts it up on the screen, and I'm like, oh, good job colorizing. You know, who knows? Because in one, the one model made his mom's shirt yellow, one model made his mom's shirt blue, whatever. So they're different, but they're colorized. Until he points out in this video that different things in addition to the colorization have happened. In one of them, there's a kind of, it looks like a dirty kind of stained rug on the floor behind the mom, and one of the models just removed it, just literally took it away. It's not there. You wouldn't notice unless you really paid attention, because you're more busy looking at the color of her shirt and you're looking at the baby and the color of his hair and all that stuff. In another picture, he brings this up, and I hadn't seen this either. Behind the mom on an end table is, I don't know, a potted plant and a teapot or something. There's some stuff there. And it replaced that. It literally took it away and replaced it with cereal boxes. So there's like Post Toasties and cornflakes and stuff, which I wouldn't have noticed unless he pointed it out. Here's the point of all of that is that he didn't say, change this photo, colorize it, and change the background, clean it up, make it look better, change it, do whatever. All he said was colorize it. And you need to be aware, okay? The reason I want to share this with you guys aren't going to use AI, I hope. And I was saying before the break, using a phone that has AI in it is stupid, but it's not sinful. What I really meant is it's stupid, but it's not... I don't believe it is putting me at risk of being demonized. I guess that's what I meant. If you're using Microsoft Word, or I've used Zoom, and Zoom has a little AI companion in the corner, and Zoom wants to use AI to do stuff to my Zoom call that I just finished. I don't say yes, I say no. I don't take AI's gifts, but I don't think its mere presence in the corner there is going to cause me to be violating the command that I've been given to not interact with AI, because I've been told not to touch it. It's there, but I'm not really touching it. I'm not interacting with it. It's offering me a gift. We'll do this to Zoom, or I'll colorize your photo, and I'm saying no to it. But it goes beyond that. If you're using it for simple purposes like colorize my photo, it may very well be making subtle changes in the background that you don't even notice. And what is that doing? It may be changing our whole historical record. If you ask it to go through and clean up pictures of something that happened in 1900, it might be cleaning up the pictures and introducing all kinds of errors in there. So yet another reminder that this thing can't be trusted. It doesn't see straight, or it lies about what it sees, and it changes the past. So stay away from it. And meanwhile, I'm going to go get another phone. All right, I'm Katherine Albrecht. Katherine Albrecht Show on YouTube. Katherine-Albrecht.com. Republic Broadcast. I got to memorize it. Here it is. RepublicBroadcasting.org. There we go. All right, and of course here on KHNC. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.